All right, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? You are watching the Grim and Wiz Project, hosted by yours truly, Mr. Whiskers, and over there, that way, is
So
the Grim Reaper, Grim underscore Reaper 91. Grim, how you doing this evening, brother?
I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I can't complain. It's a beautiful Saturday over here in New York, so I'm very excited to get into our topic tonight. Leon Must Die Forever, the latest DLC to come out for Resident Evil Requiem. So to be able to shoot the shit and chat with you on this fine Saturday night, I'm pretty fucking hyped up. Let's go, let's go!
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's gonna be awesome covering this.
So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Grim and Wiz Project, a podcast that likes to talk a lot about video games and our thoughts on it, our opinions, what we like, what we don't like. And like I said before, tonight we're covering Leon Must Die Forever, the latest DLC in Resident Evil Requiem. Grim, how did you feel about this new DLC?
Well, for me personally, I thought it was lukewarm.
Yeah.
You know,
It's definitely got that kind of feel to it a little bit, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I personally gave it a fair chance, but it was a little difficult for me to like really get into because it felt like, how do I word this the right way? I kind of got like an Ethan Must Die kind of vibe from it.
Yes.
You know.
I feel you on that. Granted, I have not played that DLC, but I do remember it through videos that I've seen and streams that I've seen a few years back.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely Capcom didn't really come up with I mean, the title. I get it, but it's like Leon Must Die Forever, and then you had Ethan Must Die. It's kind of little lazy, if I could say so. But all in all, like I enjoyed it. One of the things I liked about it wasn't very hard to understand.
No.
Leon Must Die Forever. You start off on Main Street Level 1.
Yeah.
Now, Level 1 is the easiest to
Right.
deal with. And then there are 3 red doors that you'll find around the game. Each level. You'll find these 3 red doors around each level. Let me see if I can't pull up an image over here. So this way you guys can see this. But yeah, so over here, you got that red door right below Grimm's camera. And each level, including level 1, has 3 different red doors, and they take you to 3 different locations. Now, with Main Street being level 1, one of the red doors could take you to a level 2 section, another door take you to a level 5, the third door take you to a level 9 section. The higher the level, the more difficult that section's going to be.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that you could find in this game that's a lot of fun is the weapon crates. Let's talk about the weapon crates. Each one that you find throughout the levels, it's kind of like RNG. And what RNG stands for those that are new, is random number generator. What that means is every time you open that crate, if you got a pistol the first time around out of it, your second playthrough, you could get a shotgun, a submachine gun, sniper rifle, so on and so forth. So it that's one of the things that I did enjoy about this is it made every playthrough seem a little bit more interesting, a little bit more different, created different challenges, forcing you have to use weapons. Like, let's say you're not really great with the sniper rifle. Well, if you get that, you got to utilize it until you find something to replace it with.
Yeah. You have to make the best of what you're given.
Now, with the red doors are static. Grim, do you want to explain what static means to our viewers?
Static means that stuff is the same. It's not going to change no matter how many playthroughs you do. It's always going to. It's always the items and placement of certain things are going to stay the same. They're never.
Exactly.
It's never going to change.
And the beauty of that is it kind of gives you this opportunity. It gives you not kind of. It gives you this opportunity to think about the route that you want to take. Because the main focus of Leon Must Die Forever is you have a timer above on the top of your screen that's counting down.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get to Victor Gideon at the end and defeat him before the timer runs out.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal right there, utilizing whatever the game gives you on that run. Now, with the doors being static, that gives you an opportunity to focus on which routes you want to take, which, depending upon your style of gameplay, what's going to work best for you. Because obviously, as you go further and further into Leon Must Die Forever, you're going to be approaching harder and harder sections of the game that are higher levels.
Right.
You're also going to end up facing, for the most part, before Victor Gideon. I'm pretty sure there's a route that you can go directly to him, but there are also paths that take you to mini bosses. And Grim, you want to go over some of the mini bosses that you're going to face?
Yeah. Here, let me quicken get out of the images part of this, but just give me 1 second.
Take your time, brother.
Let's see here. Let me see what AI mode pulls up here. There, off the top of my head, there was the Super Tyrant.
Super Tyrant. The Commander.
Yeah, the Commander, and what was
the Blister monster, that blood blister monster that you face in the church.
Yeah. They're all pulled up now. I got them all pulled up here. Yeah. The Blisterborn at level 10, and then the Commander, then Super Tyrant, and then obviously Victor being level 20. So yeah, it's. So you're gonna have to deal with 3 bosses before before Victor, unless you want to jump straight to him. But I personally don't recommend doing that because you're gonna wind up being very underprepared for Gideon. It's not fun being underprepared.
And there on my screen, you can see right between Grim and I, this is the Blisterborn. You'll also face. Let's see, the Commander. Let's see if we can pull up a screenshot of him right here. There he is. That's a YouTube video right there. But yeah, you can find yourself facing this guy right here, and then of course, where is Super Tyrant now? Let's see. Let's get an image of him. Oh yeah.
Yeah. See here, you got Blisterborn right
here.
There
you go.
I'm just hovering over it with my mouse because the several images that I see of him are YouTube videos. But he's right here. He's in the church. Then you have the Commander.
And we got the Super Tyrant, and the screen. When you hit the start screen, the pathing that you can take. This is what you're looking at. So this being level 1 Main Street, you can take a door to get to level 2 Care Center Rehabilitation Ward. You can take another door that takes you to the level 5 Care Center, and the third door will take you to level 9 East Raccoon City Street. So this is what we were talking about before. The 4 areas that you'll basically find yourself in, because there's also East Raccoon City Central Camp. You'll find yourself in one of these 4 areas, depending upon which route you take. And then, of course, there is the Commander, Blisterborn, and the Super Tyrant, and then Victor, level 20 at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different routes you can take, but like Grim, like you were saying before, the red doors that you approach and the levels, they're all static. So
Yes,
you
they
can
are.
you can kind of route it out however it works best for you. And Grim, I believe I heard you say that one of your first times playing, you ended up going to what was it, level 9 East Raccoon City Streets, and then there is a path you can take from there to go right to Victor. And I
Yeah.
can't even imagine how that experience must have been for you. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
That was that. Yeah, that for me that was instant regret because I'm like I knew I was completely screwed. I'm like, yeah, no chance.
Yeah, that had to have been quite the fucking your first attempt running into that immediately. I can't even imagine how difficult that must have been with whatever weapons and inventory you had at that point.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was extremely underprepared. No. You really got to think things through before you jump straight to Gideon.
Yeah, item management,
Yeah.
um, weapons you have, like we said earlier, you're going to get different weapons from crates. You'll also find yourself running into red silhouetted enemies and blue silhouetted enemies, which
Mm-hmm.
can also, when you defeat them, drop a weapon that'll be completely helpful, hopefully, depending upon what you pick up. Because some of these weapons will have a gold star above them, 2 gold stars, or 3 gold stars. 3 gold stars being the best, I believe. I haven't found anything higher than 3 gold stars, but you can find them from weapon crates. You can find them from these enemies right here. There we go. See right here, I got a red enemy. Now, the red enemies, they are what does the most damage to them is melee attacks. Your standard shooting at them, it'll do damage, but melee attacks will do more. So if you have a high-powered shotgun or a sniper rifle or something to take these enemies out quickly, you might find some nice loot with them, and cause less of a headache because with the hatchet in this game, the hatchet still has durability, but you can't sharpen it to regain that durability. To do that, you have to find these green hatchets that are floating around and utilize those to give your hatchet full durability. And speaking of hatchets, let's talk about these blue silhouetted enemies. Grim, you want to talk about those for a second?
Yeah. The red enemies. They're not. Wait. Like Wiz was saying, the red enemies are practically bulletproof because they're resistant to standard gunfire. The best way to beat them is by using explosives, melee finishers, or environmental objects, such as the gas canisters to damage them. But regarding the blue enemies, these enemies act as massive bullet sponges with heavily boosted endurance. How to defeat them? You need to wait for them to attack and parry with your hatchet to temporarily shatter their defense before opening fire with your firearms. So it's melee and it's primarily
Parrying.
it's parrying and melee that you want to use to defeat them.
An example of Grim's talking about here, if you look at what I'm highlighting with my mouse here, you can see the darker silhouette of blue there, and up here you can see that this zombie was a darker blue. This one was just freshly parried, so you can see he's got a lighter shade of blue. He's going to take more damage from your weapons, but only for a short period of time. Because after a few seconds, they regain their solid blue color again until you parry them once more.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah, but these enemies will drop some good loot, some good weapons from time to time. I
Yeah.
believe I got the Requiem off of one of them
Yeah.
at one point in my gameplay.
Right.
Which, let me tell you something. I don't think I won that round, but because it's again that RNG was not on my side, and so like we were saying earlier, like you're not going to get the same weapons for every playthrough.
No.
It's going to be different every time, which again I feel like that adds to some excitement and and shit like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like
Replayability.
that. And one thing we'll state as well: this was a free DLC, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to try it out and you have Resident Evil Requiem, the only thing you have to do to unlock this DLC is beat the game once on
Yeah.
the standard campaign, the normal campaign.
Yeah. 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 This DLC released a handful of weeks ago. It's still fairly new.
Yeah, still fairly new. And one of the things is like I played it a handful of times on stream over on Twitch, and I managed to beat Victor at least 3 times to my memory, if my memory serves me correct. I know I beat him at least 3 times, and that's on rank 1.
Yeah.
Once you beat him once on rank 1, a couple things are going to happen. You're going to unlock rank 2. And this goes so on and so forth as you beat rank 2, then you get 3, 4, and then the final one, rank 5. When you beat Victor on rank 1, you unlock wolf ears and a wolf tail that you can put on. And instead of starting with the pistol, you'll start with a rather incredibly fast-firing submachine gun, which is very nice in the early game. And you'll also get a permanent enhancer. Now, let's talk about the enhancers. Because the one you get when you get the wolf ear and the wolf ears and the wolf tail, it gives you a permanent enhancer in your slots that I believe, if I remember correctly, as you kill enemies, it is a 20% increased chance that it'll add an additional 3 seconds to your timer.
I believe so.
And I think it does something else. I think it does something else too, bro. I just don't remember. Like it's been like a week or so, like maybe 2 weeks since I played this. But yeah, right here, here are the enhancers. So as you can see here, where my mouse is, this is the screen that you pull up. If you're playing on PlayStation, I believe if you hold L1 and hit triangle, it'll bring up the enhancers.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you get to fill this this enhancer meter right here? This is to make this number go higher. How do you do that, Grim?
You get kills.
When you get kills, this meter goes, this number goes up.
Yeah.
And every time you go to this screen right here, you'll have 3 different enhancers that you can fill up with this bar. Now, normally you see there's a lock right here. This one right next to it is also locked. You can find enhancer unlocks throughout the game to open up these 2 slots. Otherwise, you have, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 that you can play with. The enhancers are also RNG. So every time you bring the screen up, you're going to get 3 different enhancers. Well, not every time. So, for instance, you bring it up, you get these 3, and you pick one, goes down here, and then the next time you bring that screen up, it'll be 3 different ones. Now, if you don't pick anything and you just look and see what you got, and then you exit the screen without purchasing any, which costs 100 points per enhancer.
Yeah.
This will stay static until you purchase something, or you can shuffle them using 20 points, which down here you'll see there. Well, my camera's kind of blocking it, but there is a button that you can hold to reshuffle the enhancers you have here. It costs you 20 points.
Right.
So you want to kind of consider that when you need to do that. And I'll tell you guys towards like when we get to Victor and fighting Victor, I'll tell you one of the strategies that I utilize that helped me beat him at least 3 times on rank 1. If our viewers or anybody still having trouble with this, because it did even the odds a little bit, but it cost me quite a few points to get what I needed. But I'll get into that in a little bit. So each one of these enhancers, they do something different. One of the ones that I like is, I'll bring this one up right here. You'll see in this image, it has a picture of a pistol and the Requiem. Now, in the description for this one, it'll say something like increase the weapon damage of the pistols and the Requiem by 10%, 15%, 20%, even 25%. I think it goes as high as 25%. That's what I've found through my playthroughs, and you can stack that. So if you keep getting this this enhancer, each one might be 10%, 15, so on and so forth. And you could stack that across the bottom if you have these weapons, giving them even more enhanced firepower.
Right. It's extremely beneficial once you get towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I'll get into too is these aren't the only things. It's not just about the weapons. You'll also find med injectors that will appear in your enhancer menu. Mm-hmm. And if you're out of health and you're running low and you happen to get lucky enough to pull up the screen and see the green med enhancer, you can click that. It'll bring you to full health. You'll also see things like the green hatchet, which will bring your hatchet durability up to full, so you don't have to necessarily find them throughout the levels you're playing. You can do it right from there in case your hatchet is broken or running really low on durability.
Right. I actually have a list of them right here.
All right, you want to name some of them off?
Well, top tier ones anyways, but anyways, there's Amped Up, grants full invincibility and stagger immunity whenever you use a healing item. Then you have Unyielding Judge, a powerful high-risk boost that triggers at high health, granting over 2,000% attack damage, unlimited ammo, and infinite weapon and weapon durability for 30 seconds. Axe the Axe increases your overall power by 60% when a hatchet is not currently equipped. Streamlined increases damage by 1.5% for every empty shot in your inventory, or empty slot in your inventory, pardon me, which is incredibly potent when clearing levels or fighting the final boss, and that being Victor. Parry Recovery restores 40% of your hatchet's durability upon a successful perfect parry, which is essential for preserving your melee weapon. And then Deadeye and Sharpshooter. Increased firepower by 50% under specific conditions. And then in parentheses it says either aiming down a sight or focusing on weak points. Headshots, though both decrease firepower by 30% if those conditions aren't met.
Hold on. I got a tickle in my throat. My allergies are killing me. I'll be right back, Grim. Keep talking about the enhancers while I go get a water real quick.
All right. And then there's a loadout and build strategy. Reroll weekly. Wisely. Pardon me. Reroll wisely. You can refresh your selection of 3 randomized enhancers for 20 points. Always reevaluate if a build relies on melee, firearms, or low health mechanics before committing. Playstyle alignment. Base your enhancer choices on your current accessories, such as boosting close combat, No, wait, yeah. Boosting close combat if you use the Maverick Axe or Assist styles, or focusing on critical damage if using Big Game Hunter. Managing red enemies. Remember that enemies highlighted in red can only be damaged by explosives or explosions or specific weapons like the fire axe or pipes, forcing you to adapt your enhancer strategy around your available ordnance.
All right. All right. What were some of your favorite enhancers to use throughout your playthroughs?
Probably higher damage for my shotguns and health, of course. Health enhancements and high power damage for shotguns.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed some of those enhancers. Like, I would load up on anything that helped, like my submachine gun, shotgun. Because, like I was saying before, I would reveal one of my strategies is, well, the main strategy that I used when I got to Victor. Granted, I've only beaten it on rank 1. I tried rank 2, struggled quite a bit with it. I give a lot of credit out there to the players that have gotten through rank 5, which is incredible. Luckily, the achievements for this only go up to what I've seen so far is rank 3. So if you're trying to unlock, to complete the achievements, don't worry. As far as I've seen on my PlayStation 5 version of the game, it only goes up to rank 3. 4 and 5 ranks are, if you really want that serious challenge.
Yeah.
If you want it to be damn near impossible, it's, I can't even imagine. Like I said, I struggled with rank 2. I still haven't beaten rank 2 yet.
Right.
But let's get into, so we went over the enhancers right there. One of the strategies that I used is as I went through the game, Grim, I would pick a set route that I wanted to go down. Typically, something that wasn't straightforward to Victor, but where it was manageable for my play style and what I'm comfortable doing.
Sure.
I like to go the Blisterborn route, and let me see if I can't. I want to kind of look at. Here we go. So, like, the route that I would take is I would start level 1 Main Street, get what I could get out of that, and then take the one thing that I learned. Actually, the further you go down Main Street, so as you approach that first weapon crate next to the van, on the left you'll see the red door. Now, I did a little testing here. If you go far enough into where the car accidents start happening, that level 2 red door is no longer accessible.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you got to make the decision there. Do you want to go the level 2 route? Because once you make it past a certain point in that first level 1 Main Street, that door is no longer available.
No.
So I'd like to go, like, I figured out where I can get up to before I had to turn around and go back to use the door to get as many items, healing items, the golden spiders that you'll run into that give you an additional 70 seconds when you shoot them.
Yeah.
Which I've seen also that you can unlock. There's multiple colored spiders that it'll turn. It's a thing that I've seen. The spiders' colors will change, and depending upon which color you shoot, it'll give you either up to 120 seconds, being the top, or again lower than that. I haven't utilized that yet. I've only gone with the default gold spiders, but it is something for players to consider if they're struggling on rank 1. If you have the points to unlock it, I'd say go that route. But I would go level 2 Care Center Rehabilitation Ward. Then I would go either one. If you wanted to go East Raccoon City Streets or East Raccoon City Central Camp, they're both level 9. It's whichever one you're more comfortable with. I like to choose one of these and then make my way to the door that gets me to the level 10 Blisterborn. Because when you look at Super Tyrant, these are the mini bosses here. The Super Tyrant's level 12, and the Commander's a level 11. The Blisterborn's level 10. It's a bit more approachable. I find if you have submachine guns and shotguns, that this area is not too difficult to get through. Just keep in mind that if you do not take out the Blisterborn fast enough, enemies will spawn in. Zombies will spawn in to make your life a living hell. Luckily, there is a red propane explosive barrel at the bottom and one at the top of the stairs if you find yourself in a scenario where you're struggling to defeat the Blisterborn and the enemies that spawn in. Right. And then from there, you find your way to Victor. So that's the route that I like to take because you can accumulate quite a bit of enhancer points. And if the RNG gods are on your side and you have the weapons that you prefer to use, you could really build up those enhancer points, right? And start utilizing them from level 1 up until once you get to the Blisterborn. I normally would have anywhere from 700, or the cap is 999. Yeah. And what I would do is when I got to the Victor fight, I would hopefully have enough ammo that I could play with. Hopefully have a hatchet, which is in reasonable condition to parry. And luckily in the Victor fight itself, there is a green hatchet there, and there are some crates that you can break open in hopes that you'll get the ammo you need, or even a green herb or something for your inventory. Right. But what I would do is I would abuse the shuffle mechanic for my enhancements. So if I had the ammo I needed, if I had a decently durable hatchet, I would abuse that in terms of, okay, I'm fighting Victor. I'm going for headshots as much as I can, lowering his health. If I had a solid sniper rifle, every time he'd jump up on one of the platforms, I'd shoot at him with the sniper rifle and try to dodge his electrical attacks. Mm-hmm. And then if I needed the green hatchet, I'd grab it really quick. But if I found myself in a scenario where, okay, I've parried, he really came at me, I had to parry a lot of attacks, my aim wasn't that great at that moment, I would cycle through the enhancers until I find like a green hatchet to heal my hatchet all the way up, to bring back that durability to max. And if I was low on health, I would use the 20 points, and I'd just keep refreshing the enhancers until I found a med injector that would bring me to full health. Now, again, it's RNG. So it's sometimes I found myself in certain Victor fights, certain final Victor fights, like his final form, which is that Nemesis-like monster. Yeah. I'd find myself not getting great RNG on the enhancers and end up dying. But some of the playthroughs where I did beat him, I did get the med injector. I did get the hatchet repair after shuffling through a handful of times. So it's a strategy that I used. It helped me on rank 1. And to anybody that hasn't beaten Victor yet, I hope that strategy works out for you as well. It's all just, it's constantly going back in, finding the weapons that work for you, hoping that the RNG is on your side. And if you get the right, and hoping that your aim and your parries are on point. Because once you get to that, once you beat Victor and you think it's all over, you get this final Nemesis-like fight from like RE3 Remake. If you got a solid pistol with a good amount of ammo, you can take out those pus blisters, and deal some significant damage to him to end the fight. And you got to run up his arm and shit. Once you got to that point, and it gives you the cue to run up there, or he grabs you, and you break free and run up there, you've beaten it. Yeah. But he's quite the challenge on rank 1. So, You can find yourself, but if you use those strategies, they could help you out.
Yeah, so you got to make damn sure that you're well prepared.
Yeah, and you want to have quite a bit of enhancer points at the end game, just to even cycle through, just to shuffle through to get the stuff that maybe you don't have at that point. It doesn't have to be a metajector. It doesn't have to be a hatchet repair. It could be something like you have an open enhancer slot. And you're like, man, if only my fucking pistol or my Requiem or my shotgun would deal more damage. You can cycle through till you get that good boost in increased damage.
Right.
Let's see. What do I got here? I like to go over Grim with you.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of pros and cons that I have with this game. So, Grim, would you like me to start, or would you like to start on some pros and cons that you felt about Leon Must Die Forever?
I can start if you're okay with that. Well, okay. As far as pros go, I mean, for me, it did have, mercenary elements to it. Because you're obviously getting your time extensions from those spiders. And like you had explained, you can get you said that you can get the variety spider enhancer or enhancement.
I've seen other players use that. Yeah, I still myself have to pick it up. It might make my rank 2 playthroughs a little bit more approachable.
Right. And obviously but a small difference between this game mode and Mercenaries is you're making your way through a variety of stages, which you are doing with Mercenaries, but with this game mode, obviously it's a I don't know the right term here, but
it's consistent. It's like you're locked in till you beat Victor. Where in Mercenaries mode, you just got to complete that particular part.
Yeah, complete the stage and then move on to the next one.
Exactly.
But but with this game mode, all you're doing is going through doors, and then defeating defeating enemies and going through doors. So it's consistent and whatnot, like you had just said. So I mean, you're not doing one map and then jump into the second one. It's all the way through. You're just going through the whole game mode in one sitting, if that makes sense, right? So for me, and I'd
like to add on to that too. I apologize for interrupting you.
Oh no.
But what Grim is saying as well is when you go through those red doors, they do give you a boost in time every time you go to the next level.
Yeah, they do. They do. So yeah, for me, as far as pros go, this game mode has a lot of similar elements that Mercenaries had, or has rather. I mean, overall, at the end of the day, it's an awesome experience regardless. You may not catch on to it at first, like with me. Like I didn't catch on to it at first, but after I had played it, a handful of times, I was like, okay, hey, all right, okay, this is starting to grow on me. I'll try to sit down one of these days and really commit to trying to beat the game mode. But for me, it was an awesome experience overall. It had quite a few mercenary elements to it. I mean, ultimately, it was just a pretty. Despite my skepticism, I liked the experience. I really did. At the end of the day, it actually grew on me a lot quicker than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, some of the pros that I felt was what I liked about this game mode was it wasn't hard to understand. It was pretty much directly right in your face. Like, this is what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
these are the challenges ahead of you. This is what you got to get past. You just got to make it to victor and beat them before the clock runs out, or you die.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it was, there wasn't a whole lot of like, you didn't need a whole lot of tutorials or anything. And which, by the way, in order to unlock this game mode, this DLC, Leon Must Die Forever, you have to at least beat the game campaign, its main campaign, and then this will become available to you.
Yep.
Um, One
Yeah.
of the great things about that as well, which I thought was a pro, is it was free.
Yeah.
It's a free download. It's a free, like, my game did it automatically. Granted, before this mode was released, I had already beaten the game. So
Hmm.
I fired up my PlayStation 5 and bam, it was there. So I could just dive right into the action. And
Yeah.
I do like that it was free because, when it comes to with how expensive everything is, and like, in terms of when you're going out to put gas in your car or you're grocery shopping or anything like that, not all of us have a whole lot of free, like, spare money to play with. And
Right.
this was one that if it did cost even like $10, I would have waited on it and kind of before I spent that money. And I know, yeah, it's $10, but you know, I would have checked out other streamers playing it before I decided, is this something for me? Is
Hmm.
this something that I want to spend my money on that I've worked for?
Right.
Or do I want to let this one slide? So the fact that it was free, I thought was fantastic because honestly, as much as I enjoyed it, I don't think I would have spent even $10 to get this.
Mm-mm. No. Me either. Me either.
Um, I'll combine these two pros that I have because they're basically very similar. And that I had discussed earlier is I like that the weapon crates were RNG.
Hmm.
It made every playthrough fresh. It made everything like, oh, what am I going to get this time around? The
Yeah.
anticipation was exciting for me.
Hmm.
On top of that, like, you get some solid weapons, and maybe you're in your fourth or fifth run, and now all of a sudden, the adrenaline rush is there. Like, oh, I think I can do it with the weapons that I just picked up. That I might be able to pull this off. So the RNG weapon crates really, made it more exciting because like there were times I'd go in there and get like a shitty pistol, and I'm like, oh my god, how am I going to make this work?
Right.
And then there were times I went in there and got like a rather solid sniper rifle for like the first half of the trip to Victor, or like a nice submachine gun, or if I got a shotgun, I was feeling super confident
Yeah.
from level one. And to combine that with, I also like the pros. I thought the the enhancers. Um, that was a lot of fun to play with, and I love how you could stack certain things. Like for me, if I had a shotgun, and I'd find when I pull up the enhancer screen, and it had the shotgun there with an extra 15% increase in damage, I was getting pretty excited. And then if I pulled it up again right after I grabbed it, that 15%, I pulled it up again. If there was another shotgun one for like 25%, I was grabbing that too. It's like, okay, I like using the shotgun. I like using the submachine gun. I like my whole thing is if I got a shotgun, a submachine gun, a pistol for endgame,
Hmm.
and a sniper rifle to help me. I'm in good shape. Like I didn't even really need grenades. If I had grenades, obviously I'd use them. But like to see that the enhancers, I could stack them and I could choose how I wanted to do it with the enhancer slots. Do I want to do two for shotgun, two for pistols and requiem, or
Hmm.
do I want to do two for sniper rifle and this and submachine gun? Like how do I want to approach this run depending upon the RNG I got from the weapon crates? So I like that was there. I think the what I didn't care for is the 20% or the 20 points you had to spend to reshuffle your enhancers if you didn't see anything in there that you could use. And I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. It adds to the difficulty. It adds to the challenge, but at some point, it's like the game did not provide enough for me where I want to play it for 6 hours until I get the enhancers and the weapons I need. You know, between the RNG with the enhancers and the RNG with the weapon crates, it made it feel fresh. But at times, if you're grinding it and you're not getting what you need, what you would to your play style, it can be frustrating. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, if you will.
Yeah. So like luck of the draw, which is unfortunate because it can either like I had said earlier on, you can either make it, it's make or break the run, and then you're stuck thinking like, oh shit, I don't know here. Wait, do I gotta restart the run or can I make it to the end with what I have? It's just
exactly
ultimately luck based, and it's just like, I don't know.
Well, let's go over some cons. So, Grim, since you started with the pros, would you like to start with the cons? What were some of the cons in this DLC that you felt, I wish it wasn't like this. I wish, this frustrated me.
Well, just how they have the time extensions set up. Because it's just. For me, you got to remember that I'm so used to mercenaries. You have the time extensions around you. But with this, there are time extensions, but they're those spiders. So you really got to keep a sharp eye on those, because if you miss them, you're you're SOL for time. Now, granted, I don't recall. During my handful of playthroughs, I don't recall really ever running out of time. My only issue was that I always died. I died either on my way to get in or I got to get in and he killed me. So ultimately just the fact that you have to be well prepared. Because if you're not, you're SOL. So essentially the lack of time extensions. The fact that you have to keep an eye on those spider time extensions, because if you miss them, you're SOL for a little bit.
Oh, I'd like to add on to that too, if you don't mind me interjecting for a second.
Go ahead.
Grim bringing up a great point. Those spiders that you see, even in level 1, it's RNG, their placement and where they are. Because sometimes you'll see them up on this neon sign. Sometimes they'll be in a bus waiting station. Some of them I think are static. Don't quote me on that. But it's also, if you see one running by and you find yourself overwhelmed with zombies and you don't get to that spider, they just explode. And then you don't get that time extension.
No, you don't.
So it forces you again, like Grim was saying. You have to, pick your poison. Do I fend off these zombies? Or do I take some damage while I try to get a shot off on the spider to get extra seconds added to the clock?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes, go ahead. I apologize for interrupting you. I just wanted to add that.
No, it's all good.
That in there as well. But you were talking about anything else you wanted to add to that?
Don't get me wrong. I know it's for the challenge and shit. I understand that, but still, just going from mercenaries and then having those time extensions be static, obviously, and then transitioning over to something new. And then not having those same time extensions in the traditional sense. You're just like, oh shit. Obviously this is something new, so I have to adapt to it. And obviously, and then I want to bring up that point that you brought up. The fact that, those spider placements, they're randomized.
Most of them are randomized from what I found.
So
I don't know if all of them are, but I know a lot of them that I had found. I would go through a second playthrough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Run over to a spot in the level 1 main street.
Yeah.
Part. And not see that beautiful glowing golden spider there. I was like, damn. And like, when you miss these or you don't get the opportunity to shoot them before they burst, now it adds extra pressure on you. Now you start rushing through the game. And, when you start rushing to save time, that's when mistakes are more likely to happen.
Right, and actually, real quick, hang on, real quick. I just want to piggyback off of what you were talking about just now,
Uh-huh.
because I actually have the wait. What do I have here? I googled Leon Must Die Forever time extenders, and on the fourth or on this, not the because they got like three bullets here. It's talking about
Yeah.
the chromo mechanic. Defeating enemies grants a hidden 20% chance to extend your remaining time by 3 seconds. The Midas spinners and Aurora shoot these specific map objects to receive major time extensions, and then stage progression, advancing from one stage to the next, triggers a generous time increase. But the main point that I want to bring up, piggybacking off of what you just said, it says here, don't let the timer intimidate you into rushing. The game gives you plenty of time, allowing you to explore and gather weapons.
Yeah. No, it does give you it gives you a rather decent amount of time. And I
Yeah.
think that, I do agree with Grim, is there is enough time that you don't feel like you need to rush, because the thing is, if you're focused on that timer and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. And it's, again, like Grim was just saying, it's not running out of time that's going to take you down. It's
No.
letting that timer kind of pressure you into doing things or rushing through things and moving to the next stage without being fully prepared,
Mm-hmm.
without being, having the right amount of items, the right amount of inventory. You'll find yourself in, going up Shit's Creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
before I get into the cons, I apologize, Grim. Let me use the restroom really quick, and I'll get into some of my cons with the game.
Okay.
So if there's anything else that you would like to talk about while I'm away, please feel free to do so now. I'll be right back, brother.
All right. Let me see here. So, I mean, for me, ultimately, it was, it was a new experience that I just had to adapt to. So, I mean, overall, despite my skepticism about this game mode, I liked it. Honestly, I mean, granted, I only recall playing through it maybe 4 or 5 times, but I still it was an awesome experience regardless. So I mean, of course, I could always replay through it obviously and really truly give it a chance, but you know for you know for right now though, I just need to step away from it for a minute. I mean, I know it's been a while anyway, so but overall it was an awesome experience regardless. So yeah.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
But okay, let me talk about some of the cons that, like, some of the things that I didn't care for in Leon Must Die Forever. And I'll start with the lightest one, more of just like after playing the game multiple times, I didn't feel that Capcom had to leave the main storylines in for Leon Must Die Forever. You start off on Main Street, and it's that quick call between Sherry and Leon, where it's the same as when you're playing as Leon in the campaign. So I feel like it was kind of lazy. Again, bringing up laziness there, is that they could have just either taken those lines out. They could either take those lines out or come up with fresh lines for this particular mode. Because I could imagine, like, the voice actors, like Nick would have had some fun adding a bit more tension or this, that, and the third into a Leon Must Die Forever game mode. And just to basically keep those lines from the main campaign in this game mode. I just felt that was, you didn't need them in there. You could have just taken them out together, all together. It's a small thing, but it was one thing. Is just like hearing the same line over and over and over again. Because again, you're going to die in this mode, or you're going to run out of time, and you're going to be starting back in the beginning, and that could happen within 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then you're back at square one, and then I just felt like that was a little lazy.
Right.
One of the other things that I did not care for was, for me, I don't know how it was across other platforms, but on PS5, going through the game, so we talked about all the different kind of weapons that you could find in the weapon crates and things like that. Now, let's say, I'll just create an example. You're on level 1 Main Street. Sorry. You're on level 1 Main Street. You get to the first weapon crate. Now, again, let's say you haven't beaten rank 1 yet, and you're with the starting pistol. You get to the weapon crate, and it gives you a better pistol. So now you take this handgun, and my first thought is, I just want to discard the one that I'm using and equip this one. Well, through my experience, is it wouldn't let, like, even if I unequipped it in the menu, so I pick up the new gun, I pick up the new handgun, I have the handgun that I have equipped, I unequip that one, I register the shortcut on my D-pad, and I want to discard my starting handgun. Well, it don't let me discard it right away. I literally have to back out of the item menu, go back into it to discard it. And that is fucking frustrating when you have to deal with that enough times, especially if you, let's say the RNG is rather insane in, particular areas that have multiple weapon crates. Let's say you find, in the first one, a really nice shotgun, and then the second one, you find an even better shotgun. I got to do this weird dance just to discard the one I don't want anymore. I find that to be rather annoying, especially because every once in a blue moon I like to dabble in speedrunning. And with a game that has a timer clock, that granted the clock pauses when you go into the item menu, but to have to juggle that around, I found to be very frustrating from times. Especially if you've died 5 or 6 times, you're like, I just want to equip this freaking gun and get rid of this one without having to go into my inventory, get out of my inventory, go back into it. Maybe I was doing something wrong, but I've tried a couple of different ways to go about that and just found it being the same way every time. I don't know if that's a PS5 issue, Grim. I don't know if you had that issue, but it pissed me off.
No, it's not something I personally experienced.
And then one of the other cons I had is, I understand that to re-roll, to reshuffle your enhancers, it should cost you something. But in a game mode that is already meant to be incredibly difficult, I think that the cost of the reshuffle shouldn't have come into play. Like, for instance, I think rank 1, there should be no cost to reshuffle your enhancers.
Right.
I could see at, if they wanted to do something along the lines of rank 2, make the reshuffle cost 20 points. Rank 3, make it cost 30. Rank 4, make it cost 40. Rank 5, make it cost 50 points. I could get behind that a bit, but the way I look at it, and I'm not speaking for everyone here, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience and what I think would be thinking about other gamers that are like me, where it's rank 1. It's meant to be the easiest rank.
Yeah.
And if, Grim, you said yourself, you played quite a few times handful of times?
I did, yeah.
You've gotten to Victor like 4 or 5 times, and
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier, it wasn't the timer that took you out of the game; it was dying.
Yeah.
It's so again, you played it. You played it numerous times, haven't beaten Victor yet, and it's rank one. That should be rank one. Should be the confidence builder. As you go through, like, okay, well, at least I can reshuffle till I get health or a hatchet repair. You know, to go from like, to have it costing points because and you might sit there and think, oh, 20 points. Like to our viewers, you might sit there and think 20 points isn't a lot of points. I've gone into a Victor fight like with a decent setup,
Sure.
ran out of health, ran out of hatchet. I had 999 enhancement points to play with. Each enhancer cost 100 points. To reshuffle cost 20. I reshuffled before I got what I needed, whether it was health or a hatchet repair, to the point where I only, like, from 999, and again, 20 points per reshuffle, I reshuffled to the point where I only had 400 left after that. Just to get a healing, a med injector. And then after that, it was like, okay, well, if you take significant damage again, let's say you're not pro status or whatever like that, or, you're not great with the parry, to only have 400 points to have to reshuffle again to get another meta injector was brutal. I lost some runs because I didn't have, like, I had to reshuffle all my points away to the point to that part where I didn't have any points left, because I'd get to that where I'd leave it till I at least had 100 points left in case I got something I needed, and I'd be down to 120 points from 999, and I think that is something that Capcom could have changed, where when you go into it with rank one, that's your confidence builder right there. That should be the easiest one. It should have some level of difficulty because, of course, it is Leon must die forever, right? So you expect to die a few times, but it should be approachable for all players so that when you get to rank two, at least you look back and go, okay, I beat rank one. I know this is going to increase in difficulty. What are the challenges next in front of me? I think that they could have done the reshuffle there, where it cost 20 points. Rank 2, 20 points. Again, rank 3, 30 points. It doesn't have to be a significant increase. You can literally go by the rank itself.
Yeah.
Or even rank 1, if you want it to be like that and you wanted to have it cost something, then make it 10 points.
Sure.
I just look at it this way, like even Grim, when you were telling me that you haven't beaten it yet, and we both played this mode, and I know how difficult it is. So this isn't a shot at you or anything like that. But I know how long that you've played Resident Evil. I know that you've played DLCs, you played Mercenaries, and you've had your success with that.
Yeah.
The fact that they made this mode, that even with the reputation that you have, the skills that you have in this game, that you still haven't beaten Victor yet, it's almost as if that they didn't want it to make it approachable for all players at rank 1, and I find that to be a little frustrating. And I think with the reshuffle technique on rank 1, it shouldn't cost you anything. At best, 10 points, but I still think rank 1 should be free, and then make it 20 points, 30 points, 40 as you get to those ranks.
Yeah. They didn't. Yeah. Honestly, Capcom really didn't think this all the way through.
No. I feel like with how long it took them to make this game and how many years that they've been working on this project, knowing that they were going to add DLC to it and not really putting that kind of thought into it, again, I don't know if this was like a rush moment where they wanted to make sure that they got it out on the release date that they said that they set forward doing. But I think that is something that could have been changed, could have been fixed.
Yeah.
Could have been better. Even if they did it now as an update, I feel like, the damage is already done. And anybody that is, like, for yourself, you at least went back in. Because I remember when we talked about this, you played it. What did you say? You said you played it for like 20 minutes, and it was the end of the night. You might have been a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
But you were already like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. I yeah. When they first released it, I gave it less than 30 minutes, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. No,
You know,
I can't.
had it been more inviting, maybe you would have, had you had a bit more success, or again, like, not having to reshuffle your enhancers or anything like that. Again,
Yeah.
a player of your status that has been playing this game for 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
that says something. Now, granted, like you said, you might have been tired, this, that, and the third, but like, I look at it this way: is you at least you went back into it. You went back for more, especially since we do this podcast and we need, we were going through some talking points tonight, and
Mm-hmm.
you put a few more hours into it.
Yeah.
To the casual player that isn't a content creator or anything like that, again, imagine if they charged $10 for this, and you really, as a casual player, as a 9 to 5 worker, Monday through Friday, you got home from work, you played Resident Evil Requiem, you beat the main campaign, you fucking love the game, you love the story, and then you find out there's free DLC coming out, and you're super excited about it, only to get out of work, eat dinner, put on your comfy clothes, grab a beverage, and get your ass handed to you. You're not going to want to fire that shit back up. Not when you got work the next day, things like that. So that's why I bring it up is like I think that this mode could have been handled a little bit differently. Still fun, but like I said, across the board, there are things that Capcom could have done to improve the replayability and like coming back to this mode. For the casual player, the 9 to 5, the people that are working overnights that as the sun's coming up and they're getting home and they want to just play a little bit of video games to decompress and only to get this headache. Dying, like you get to Victor and you fucking die. You don't have the right equipment. Like, it can be frustrating, and I just think that could have been done a little bit differently.
Yeah.
There's a way to, again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record. There's a way to approach that where the casual player should be able to beat rank 1 in a sitting on a Friday night or something, and then you can increase that difficulty and how much things cost to do for the more experienced and then those professional players out there and then ones that, again, even content creators that can invest 8, 9, 10 hours playing this mode on a Monday, Like, I'm not taking shots at content creators either. We're content creators ourselves. But even then, I work a job Monday through Friday, and playing this mode, I beat Victor on my 3rd try. I didn't think I was going to beat him at all that night. So once I beat him, it's like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, and again, I put that on myself, but it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders, and I felt much more comfortable. And I was like, okay, if I die the rest of the night, at least I beat him once.
Yeah.
Now, like when I think about like you're like you said yourself, and other players out there that are still struggling to get through rank 1, that kind of tells you something that the approach and the difficulty and everything like that was not managed or developed in a way that I think everybody, whether you're 9 to 5 or a pro, should be able to get through rank 1 without that level of headaches.
Right.
Because then you can experience rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5. So to finish my point is, I things could have been different there, and the level of difficulty Like I said, I haven't. I tried rank 2. I think I tried it like 5 or 6 times, and I just got destroyed on the route that I was taking to beat rank 1. I
Yeah.
just got destroyed every time. I didn't even get past the second part. I got out of level 1 Main Street, went to level 2, and just got my ass chainsawed apart. It was brutal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, this game mode may not be for everybody. So, for those of you that this doesn't attract, then despite it being free, I'd steer clear of it if it's not your cup of joe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, try it out. Again, it is free, but thank God it is free because you spend $10 on this and you can't beat rank 1. You're going to be pretty pissed that you even spent $10.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, I just spent $10 on a game that I can't fucking. Like, I'm not. Now it just stresses me out. I'm not even having fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those were my pros and cons. Grim, was there anything else you wanted to add into this? Anything else you wanted to discuss before we end the podcast?
Well, I'll just leave you guys with this. Despite this being a fun experience in the end, hopefully, in the event that in the event that Capcom happens to release future DLC for this at all, in the next coming months, hopefully they do they think it through first. They don't rush it.
Yeah, and we are supposed to get more DLC. I'm glad you brought that up, Grim. Aren't we supposed to get more at the end of the summer kind of deal?
We're
Expanded storyline.
Yeah, like story expansion, and there's a lot of speculation going around.
What have you heard so far?
That Ada is going to be involved this time, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, hey, it's possible because I still remember that picture of Nick and what was her name, Lily, at that that coffee shop or something. I don't know if they were just casually there or if they were there to do like some discussing.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I just looked it up right now. Resident Evil Requiem expansion release date. They don't have a solid release date, but it does say this on my Google search, is that the combat-based minigame expansion Leon Must Die Forever was shadow dropped and is available to play on all platforms. However, the primary story expansion is currently in development with no officially confirmed release date, though industry insiders expect it to launch in late 2026. So,
yeah,
that is. We can expect by the end of the year, the end of this year, we will see a story expansion. And as you heard Grim say, there are possibilities of who it can include in this expansion. Maybe we see Ada. Who knows? But I do agree with you, brother. Is I hope they're putting a lot of time into this and that they're taking the reactions that they've gotten across the board about Leon Must Die Forever.
Yeah.
And that they really make sure that they fine-tune this story expansion, because it would be a bummer to go in the opposite direction, right? Resident Evil Requiem, a solid game. I loved it. I thought it was the right amount of gameplay. I think I beat it in like 19 hours or something like that. When you're spending $70+ on a game, I feel like that is an appropriate amount of campaign on a first playthrough, and I played it on standard. I felt like that was an appropriate amount of time. Oh, so right there you're starting at the peak, and then to go to Leon Must Die Forever, where I feel like we dipped a little bit. For some players, I'm sure this was a ton of fun. You might disagree with Grim and I on some of the topics we talked about. Maybe this was an easy ride for you. I don't know. But, again, this podcast is just like, Grim and I, both being gamers here, longtime Resident Evil fans. We're just expressing our thoughts and opinions on this. And I think that this was a little dip down from Resident Evil Requiem, and if the expansion to the story is bad as well, then now we're just taking another step down. Like you started at a high point, and like now we're tinkering down to like up. So I hope that Capcom is really taking their time with this expansion and putting a lot of thought into this, and just to bring it back up from Leon Must Die Forever. Because all in all, at the end of the day, I'll give the final ranking of how I felt. I'll rate this game, and Graham, I'd love to hear your rating too. But I'll rate this DLC a kind of like a 7, maybe a weak 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you rate Leon Must Die Forever?
Yeah, I agree. Probably considering it was lukewarm for me, I'll give it like maybe a 7.5, 7.6.
Okay. So, and again, this is how you could tell that, this is our opinions, because Grim over here hasn't beaten rank 1 yet, but he's giving it a higher rating than I am. So that just says something right there is, depending upon what you like and what you're into, this could be a fun experience for you. But just keep in mind that there's going to be a level of difficulty and a level of strategic thinking and RNG that you're going to have to put all of that together just to get past rank 1. And there are 4 other ranks after that.
Yeah.
So good luck to all the players out there. Keep grinding. Keep getting it done.
Yeah.
And Grim, as always, is there anything else you want to add to this before we end the podcast?
I do want to mention one little detail about the story expansion. Like you had said, there's not a solid release date, but they're aiming for somewhere around September or October.
Nice. I feel like October would be like, if they can get it done by the beginning of October, that'd be great timing.
Yeah.
For Halloween.
Yeah, for Halloween and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. But,
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Whiskers. That's Grim_Reaper91 right there.
yeah.
You can watch the Grim and Wiz project off of, you'll get a different perspective, a different view, a different visual on his channel at Grim_Reaper91 on YouTube. I'm Mr. Whiskers. If you like the content, let us know by hitting that like button and hit that subscribe button as well, so you'll get notifications when we put up the next episode.
Yeah.
As always, thank you so much, Grim. I always love when we can put some time together to do this. And,
You're welcome.
I have a lot of fun doing these podcasts with you, brother.
You too, man. You too.
But for everybody else, have a fantastic rest of your evening or day or whatever time it is. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
Yeah.
Take it easy now.
See you guys in the next episode.